Can you hold it up to the camera?
There's a debate about this, which is what we're having.
Pause. Now, if you notice the shift,
there's a PubMed, NCBI, and like this is a medical journal. So I mean, like,
hold on a second. Let me actually. Hold on a second. You know what? Okay, you know what? Just hold it up for me. Hold it
anyone.
Up for me. 0.0018%, almost 100 times lower than Fausto Sterling estimate of 1.7.
So it is because they are.
Can you hold that up to the camera?
Enter one of their self-described mentors, Stephen Monticelli.
All right, so it's okay. We're comfortable with our masculinity. The more you can move in, the better.
All right, so we can actually. Oh, you got the mic on the desk.
Oh, there you go. Here, I'll have it on you.
That?
Your name is Stephen?
That's right, Stephen.
Monticelli is a contributing writer at Rolling Stone and The Daily Beast, where he specializes in leftist talking points and attacking college students. He's even made an appearance on CNN's New Day.
That's right.
Also, this noted Inspector Gadget impressionist who cosplays as Indiana Jones enthusiast had clearly been waiting for Change My Mind to come to UNT, the Harvard of Denton County, for quite some time, and he just couldn't hide his enthusiasm.
All right, good. You spell it PH or V?
The V.
Same way, very nice. Fewer letters means a cooler name. Last name?
Monticelli, I'll spell it for you.
Okay.
Monachelli.
So, German.
Italian.
Boy, missed all of that one.
Missed it by that much.
This guy believes that he's about to say something to blow Steven Crowder's mind, and he's going to get him right there in front of everybody and shut him up forever. Every smart person, every person is like as big as Steven Crowder has become during these Change My Mind segments. There's a whole slew of individuals out there who are training to shut him up. They want to make sure that now what? I'm smarter than you. Yeah, I changed your mind. Now don't ever come back.
Just a little bit, but you know, both those countries have a certain history for a certain type of politics, but we're not here to talk about that today.
Yeah, no, I know. I don't know how I got that one wrong. It's almost like I wasn't even trying.
Oh, look, the sense of humor mobile. It's not stopping here.
So, Steve, how do you prefer?
Steven.
By the way, I like this jacket. Can I?
Thanks. Yeah, go for it.
Is it a raincoat or is it just
like a cotton jacket, like I guess surplus.
Okay.
Military
the whole
surplus.
outfit works.
Thanks.
So, Stephen, I don't know how familiar you are at all with what we do with this kind of installment is, but it's basically a way where we can hopefully rationalize our positions on controversial topics. A lot of the times, people can have somewhat rational conversations on topics that maybe don't evoke an emotional response, and then it all goes out the window, as you've seen here on college campuses with dancing Yoda and people throwing milkshakes and screaming and all these kinds of things, which we generally like to avoid.
Now, spoiler alert, this is about to go sideways very quickly.
So today's topic is one obviously we planned for a while, but now it's in the news because of Leah Thomas. I don't believe that biological males should be allowed to compete with women, biological females in women's sports. If you disagree with me, I'm more than happy to hear your case and let you change my mind.
So I guess before we get into it, what is your definition of the term biological female? Is that something that would include people who are assigned female at birth that were born intersex?
So this is interesting that you're bringing up this point intersex. You're talking about the 0.01% of the population.
It's about 1.5, 1.7, because there are surgeries that are done to babies when they're born, and then they assign them a gender.
So let me address two different points here.
Sure.
First,
Okay, hopefully this young man that's wearing the nice hat is not about to hang his hat off of that 1% rule right there, because if we applied rules to everyone based off of the 1%ers, even if we're talking about economically, it wouldn't make much sense now, would it? I'm just saying.
So what I'm saying with biological males and females is the overwhelming majority of people, of course, across the globe since the beginning of time, who are born as a male, born as a female. You can go not only by chromosomes, but secondary sex characteristics.
If there's are there 100 people here?
Hold on, let me finish. And then I'll address your second point.
Okay.
Is that fair?
Sure.
Okay. Sure. So doctors, for example, fill out male or female. Now we're talking about sex, right? We're not talking about identified gender. I'm assuming that you would agree that sex is a biological term and gender is a social
difference between.
I understand that's how gender theory is presented, certainly in gender studies on college campus.
Sure.
With intersex, it's about 0.01% of the population, and the vast majority of them,
once again, it's
the vast majority of them don't require any kind of a sex change.
That's actually not an accurate statistic.
It is an accurate statistic.
I can pull up
and
the
I'll make
Google
all the
statistic
references available.
Right now, it's 1.5%.
1.5% of the population is not intersex.
Well, they're born that
And
way.
even then, a very small percentage of them are improperly assigned with a primary sex at birth. They
How does Steven Crowder already have that information at the top of his head? This gentleman pulled that out because he didn't believe that Steven Crowder will have that information. Bruh, this dude, like his mind, he studies. He studies. He might not be everybody's taste, but the dude studies, man. People need to stop coming to him unless they've done their homework, bro.
we have primary sexual characteristics, okay? So primary sexual characteristics, and very few have to end up going with some kind of a sex change operation later in life.
Because it's often done when they're children or when they're babies.
Right, or they're assigned male, female at birth, even if they're intersex.
So yeah, I guess that's what I'm trying to get at. Are you talking about people who are assigned?
if we separate that, intersex, okay? So let's say we allow intersex to no, I'm saying let's say we allow intersex to compete in the division they choose.
How do you prove that they're in? How do you even get to that question of are you or are you not? Are you asking then that there has to be a box that people have to tick that they were intersex?
I'm confused by you presenting the argument here because you asked me about intersex.
Yeah. So what I'm trying to say is there are edge cases here that I don't think that your presentation actually encompasses. And
I just
furthermore,
encompassed it.
So if people
what is
are
intersex?
allowed, so that someone who is born with both female and male sex characteristics.
There you go. Now you've got it.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. And then there are surgeries that are done
you
to
just check
them.
the box.
But someone would have to ask them that.
Yes.
So are you proposing that people are asked that?
What I'm saying is if someone is intersex, let's allow that to be an exception.
So how
let's
do
say
we
that someone
know
who's
that
intersex
is
can
the
compete
case?
in any division they
You ask. Ask. That's it. Ask. As a matter of fact, when it becomes becomes a big enough number of people who are that intersexed, then it actually will be on applications. Right now it's not because it's such a small number. It's not even a number yet. It's a percentage of a number. I guess that's a number. But it's not enough for it to be on the application, but they gotta ask so that they can treat you accordingly. That's why they ask if you're a male, female, when you go to workplaces. They ask your race. They ask, your favorite foods. Do you like, sipping on margaritas and long walks on the beach? Do you like all those things? They ask you all those things. They conduct polls that they call applications where you have to answer these things, period. This person is going to have a driver's license, right? What is the driver's license going to say?
they want to.
How do we know?
They would have to declare if they're intersex.
So you're at.
And it would be submitted. They would obviously be examined by a doctor, just as the women are in women's sports and men are in men's sports. Just as they have to submit to not only blood sampling for drug tests, hair follicle sampling, often nail scrapings, right? We both know that physicals are conducted in all sports to separate for what? Sex, right? To separate for weight, to separate for...
When I was playing sports when I was a kid, no one ever inspected my genitals.
Really?
No.
You never had to turn your head and cough?
Well, that wasn't for doing sports. That's called a physical. That's a medical thing that was separate from being able to do sports.
Yeah, so you never had to do a full medical?
I mean...
So you must not have played sports at a high level.
Didn't play
because
they weren't really
they do. Everyone has
concerned
to
about
pass a medical.
Even in high
You
school.
do realize that at Division I sports, you would have to pass a medical. You know
So,
why?
so the medical would be a description of your genitals? Would that be,
It would include it.
It would include a written description and a verbal description?
Yes.
Really?
This medical examination, would include the description of your vitals,
Okay.
of your health parameters.
So I guess now that we've gone through that, what is?
But we haven't gone through that.
What is the reason that you're?
We haven't gone through that. You haven't
So
answered
if you're
me.
if you're less concerned about intersex people, then why are you so concerned about transgender people?
Again, I was answering your question. You asked about intersex.
They both get surgery. Sometimes they both need hormone treatment. What's your position against? If you're okay with one, why are you not okay with the other?
Well, here's exactly why. First off, you're taking an extreme example to make a point, misrepresenting those statistics. It's not 1.5% of the population.
All right,
You
I'll
won't
just
find a
Google
position
it.
in the country.
It's fine.
You won't find a single position in the country.
According to experts, 1.7% of the population is born with intersex traits.
Pause a second. Let's analyze his Googling technique.
I'll just Google it.
In the country.
It's fine.
You won't find a single position in the country.
Quite expert.
Huh, a 2-click Google search. It's almost as if he had the whole thing planned out, poorly.
1.7% of the population is born with intersex traits.
That's
just,
from amnesty.org.
I mean, yeah, I mean, I can just like keep. I can go to.
It's from amnesty.org.
I mean, it's from there's Wikipedia. There's plenty
yes,
of.
Amnesty and Wikipedia. Okay.
There's
Here's
a PubMed, NCBI, and like this is a medical journal. So I mean, like,
hold on a second. Let me actually. Hold on a second. You know what? Okay, you know what? Just hold it up for me. Hold it up for me.
Anyone that
hold it up
wants
for me.
to do this.
Because you just brought up PubMed and it didn't reflect what you just reflected in
So
Amnesty.
abstract.
0.0018%, almost 100 times lower than Fausto Sterling estimate of 1.7.
So it is
Wow.
because they are.
Like, can you hold that up to the camera?
Sex.
Can you hold that up to the camera?
Inconsistent.
Can you hold that up to the
phenotypic
camera?
Sex. Yeah. So let's see. There's.
Can you hold it up to the camera?
There's a debate about this, which is what we're having.
Pause. Now, if you notice the shift, and I mean increase in my enthusiasm, it's because I was intensely familiar with the PubMed paper he was attempting to cite. And by cite, I mean blatantly misrepresent. And by blatantly misrepresent, I mean lie about. And this is the real value of Change My Mind in the conversations being included in their full context
Wow,
unedited.
bruh, you
It's
played
one thing to
yourself.
be able to lie about numbers to unsuspecting students in order to score political points. It's another to face accountability in real time. So let's rewind and zoom in and enhance on his screen. Unfortunately, the tech isn't good enough to get a crystal clear picture, but here's the actual PubMed article abstract. If the term intersex is to retain any meaning, the term should be restricted to those conditions in which chromosomal sex is inconsistent with phenotypic sex, or in which the phenotype is not classifiable as either male or female. Applying this more precise definition, the true prevalence of intersex is seen to be about 0.018%, almost 100 times lower than the Fausto Sterling estimate of 1.7.
Can you hold it up to the camera?
There's a debate about this, which is what we're having. Yeah, you can.
No wonder the social justice warrior / handler of Curious George shoved his phone back in his pocket faster than a crack pipe at the bordello of Biden.
Yeah, you can Google.
But you didn't
can
present it
get
as a debate.
You can get different.
The only.
figures.
Hold on a second. Let me finish.
Wow, you slimy Slytherin. Dude, you should be ashamed. And Rolling Stone, you's a Rolling Stone journalist, and you tried to trick someone. You tried to mislead someone who was way more studied than you are. That sucks, bro. No respect for you. You played yourself, man. He played himself, because this is not a game about who's right or wrong. He came there to be right and did not do his daggone homework. He thought that he was going to get away with it, but he didn't. He got caught. Somebody tried to steal a bag of bread out the store, and right before they walked out the door, the clerk grabbed their shoulder, and then they peed on himself because he didn't know what to do when he got caught. Not knowing that Steven Crowder was going to do that high-tech 007 stuff that he did. And kudos to Steven Crowder for that, man. That right there, that would make me learn more from you as the main source, because that right there shows me that he knows his stuff. He can back it up with facts. That means something to me.
Here, because you just brought up amnesty.org and Wikipedia.
Sure.
The only legitimate medical publication that you brought up said exactly what I said. What number did I give you? What number did I give you?
So then let's like put it into
What number
numbers.
did I give
If
you?
there are 100 people here
What
or
number did I
1,000
give you?
people here, if there are 100 people here or there are 1,000 people here, there's still going to be at least one person.
Look,
No.
if you're not
There's still
going
gonna
to
be at least
if
one
truth
person.
doesn't
No,
matter to you,
that's
this isn't
not
going to be a
true.
productive
I'm
conversation.
actually
not
giving
true.
the numbers.
What number did I give to you?
So you gave me 0.1%,
0.01%.
0.0%.
What does that number from PubMed say?
Let's see. It says 0.08, which would be
0.018%.
point.
He's still lying. He's still lying.
Yeah, that's the number I gave you.
So let's
He's
see what
still
PubMed
lying.
just said.
That is PubMed. You just showed the PubMed.
Yeah, I'm just going to pull
Now
up
you're
the
going
same
back to
dot.
amnesty.org, or you're going to Wikipedia. So my point is, look, you sit here and you
suck.
spout numbers that are
Suck.
inaccurate. When you go to one legitimate medical journal, it says that it's actually 1,000 times lower. So do we want to have a conversation about the topic at hand, or do you want to keep embarrassing yourself with wrong
All right,
numbers?
so if you're going to accept that there are people in this world, no matter how rare that you think that they are, that you're going to allow to participate in sports.
No matter how rare your own sources said they are.
No matter how rare that there are in existence, it doesn't matter what you think or what I think, they exist.
The numbers are the numbers.
Do you believe that they exist?
Of course, I believe that 0.018% according to PubMed.
So there are people in this state, in this city,
yes,
who would fit that categorization, and just because there are a small number of them, you're going to just kind of disregard the example.
And what number of them require some kind of sex change? What number of them require
Why is that so threatening to you?
It's not threatening to me.
It seems like it is.
Well, what's bothering to me is your dishonesty.
Extremely.
So I'll grant your number. I'll grant your number, and my argument is still the same.
So what's the number of people there who are not accurately defined at birth by their primary and secondary sexual characteristics?
So once again,
it's about
why is
0.2% of 0.01.8% of the population.
And so because
now that's
and what's
not,
the
so the
percentage of people that are competing
small,
in sports that are transgender? What's that number of the population? What's that percentage?
The number of transgender people.
Percentage of the total population. Yeah, and that
now,
are competing in sports.
As far as the categories that they enter, they end up winning about 66%, for example, in track, upwards of 90% in strength sports like powerlifting and Olympic lifting. That's significant. So even though they make up 1% of the population when they enter into female sports, they overwhelmingly tend to dominate, and this is a very small sample size. So my question to you is, what do we do? Because you're supposed to sit here and
Are we going to start talking about genetics as it relates to people winning sports? Is that what you want to do? Is that what you're asking?
Male and female sports are separated by biology, yes?
I mean, what's the point of sports?
To win.
It don't matter if you win by an inch or a mile. Winning's winning.
Why is that funny?
It just tells me a lot about who you are.
The point of sports is not to win?
I think a lot of people think there's more than one point to sports. I mean, so much of sports is like people getting sweaty and like rubbing around with each other.
What's the point to winning an Olympic medal?
I don't know. I mean, why do we have the Olympics?
To identify who the best is at sport.
What is the historical reason why we have the Olympics?
Do you mean you want to go back to pancration?
I mean, do we want to talk about, no, like the modern reinvention of it?
Okay, so...
Fascist politics, you know, all that kind of stuff.
So you believe that people are competing, for example, in swimming, decathlon, biathlon, because of fascist politics?
I think that the overarching mindset that sports is about, you know, declaring dominance and that there's some sort of actual value in like this idea of international representation of dominance in sports. When did you ever have fun in your life?
This dude clearly has an issue with physical anything. I doubt he works out. I doubt he ever did a push-up. I doubt he ever squatted. I doubt he ever lifted a barbell. I doubt he ever did dips, did pull-ups, come on, bro. Just because you don't have that in you, you have an issue with physical activity, so you want to tie it into fascist politics? Come on, man. Really? Listen, you guys. Listen. It's not about winning. As long as you learn something, you make friends and you have fun while you're out there. Okay? Have fun on 3. 1, 2, 3, have fun. Yeah, there you go, guys. It's not about winning. It's the last type of coach you want to have. What can you gotta, everything about what we do on a day-to-day basis is competition. Whether we want to address it or not, it is competition. Now, when we get older, we can decide not to be in it, but it doesn't mean it doesn't exist. Everybody's competing. Every single day, every single minute, somebody's competing. Clearly. You probably wore what you have on right now. This daggone Inspector Gadget suit you got on, like my man said, because you are also trying to compete in some way, shape, or fashion. You want to be nice looking. You want to be cool looking. You want to look smart. You want to look smart. I'm sure you're extremely intelligent when you want to be. In this conversation, you are not. Period. He played himself, and now he's trying every trick in the book to not be called out on his bull sugar honey iced tea.
Like, you ever have fun playing sports?
I didn't say it's about representing international dominance.
No, but I'm saying is, like, you said it's all about winning. So
I said, what is the point of sports? What is the point of sports?
I think sports is a lot about having fun and, you know, making relationships with people and
Do you think
camaraderie.
it's fun to make the Olympic medaling platform? Think that's fun?
Go on, think. Is it fun?
No, sir.
No.
No, sir.
Absolutely not?
Zero fun, sir.
All right.
I mean, it must provide a sense of accomplishment,
Why?
a sense of joy, because they worked hard to get there.
And the joy and accomplishment comes from what?
Working hard to get there, I guess.
Steven Crowder, he was bullied by athletes all his life. Please leave him alone. You're about to send him into a traumatic moment. After this conversation, I'm certain he went to the car and he cried. He went to his car and he cried. Because any type of physical activity, he wants no parts of it. Listen, he believed that he can rule the world with his brain and his brain alone. Let him do that. But he's doing it disingenuously because if all you are a brain, you should be besting Steven Crowder, who is a comedian, in my opinion. You should best him in a debate. And you are not. You're doing horribly. I was hoping that you would best him. I knew that Steven Crowder wouldn't show somebody beating his tail in the debate. He probably wouldn't have showed that. But I was still hoping that somebody would. He's calling people out there. People want Floyd Mayweather to lose one fight. They can't wait for him to lose. Because he never loses. He never lost a day in his life. Steven Crowder keep calling people to that table, and people never beat him in the debates. So, of course, I'm going to want somebody to beat him, and you are not that person.
Wouldn't you go into great lengths to avoid the term winning a medal?
I mean, hey, if you get second place and you're a spoiled brat about it, I think a lot of people would think you're kind of lame.
Do you think that the Olympic silver medalist who took second place to Leah Thomas, who wouldn't be ranked top 500 in the male division, is being a spoiled brat?
Well, what is your solution? Would you want to create an entirely separate category for transgender people in sports?
If you want to, we can. Otherwise,
No, that's not what I want to. I'm asking what you want.
Yeah, I think biological males should compete with biological males.
I'm asking specifically about transgender and intersex people now. Where do you think they should compete in sports?
Well, let's separate transgender and intersex because intersex people don't want to be lumped in with transgenders.
I mean, who are you to speak for them? Are you
I'm
intersex?
letting them speak for them.
Are you telling me something about yourself?
I'm letting them speak for them, but I'm sure you'll find statistics that will prove you wrong and bolster what I'm discussing right now. Intersex people don't want to be lumped in with transgender individuals because there is a biological issue. There's not a biological issue with transgender individuals. It is a societal issue. It's a social issue.
Is it a biological issue that you would never make a basketball team because you can't jump?
That I can't jump?
Yeah.
Why are you making that presumption?
I'm just kind of following this logic to where it might
racist?
conclude. No, I'm asking, are you?
You're asking, am I racist?
Yeah, what I'm saying is if you're so obsessed with certain types of people winning certain types of categories as if there's some sort of
Males
biological...
And females? Yeah.
So you're an essentialist.
It's a figment of my imagination?
You're an essentialist.
Oh, well, let's throw that to me. What do you mean that I'm an essentialist, that I believe biological males should compete against biological males?
Well, I mean, you just talk about biological males and females so much that it essentializes gender into a binary that doesn't include all these people that we've just been talking about, and sex into a binary.
And sex.
Yeah.
You said gender.
And sex, yeah.
I didn't mention gender, I mentioned sex.
Well, I'm talking about both. Yeah, I would say.
I'm not.
Well, then let's just focus on sex. You are creating an essentialist binary.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay, so if you are saying that it is not binary, sex, then you are suggesting there should be a third division.
Not necessarily.
What's your solution?
I'm saying we should maybe stop taking sports so seriously and let people compete and create structures for competing that aren't politicized. How about that?
How about new?
How about
Okay, great. So women should just shut up and take it. They're taking it too seriously. Women are taking it too seriously.
I don't think that's what I think you're taking it too seriously.
No, I'm saying women out there are taking it too seriously.
Talk to a woman. There's plenty of women here. Talk to a woman.
Yeah, I have. I've spoken with many women.
What did she say?
But there's also
What did they say?
They of course don't want biological males to compete in women's sports.
All right, so I'm going to give up my seat now.
athletes.
Is there a woman who would like to speak to him?
Pause. It's funny he should ask, because we just so happen to have talked to a female athlete, one of Leah Thomas's teammates, peers, if you will, at UPenn, to be exact, and here's what she had to say. That guy, Monticelli, seems to be uneducated. I would say that the way the rules are set up right now straight up deny women from equal educational opportunities in sport and discriminate against women by not recognizing the physical differences between men and women. And women shouldn't be forced to take a back seat in their own sport.
Any women?
Female athlete.
All right, cool. Hey, it's been nice, Steve.
Thank you very much.
Take care.
I appreciate it.
I don't know.
So no solution, no dog in the fight, just wrong sources. Every other conversation's been very productive.
I'd say, have fun making it your career to go talk to college students who don't want to talk to you.
Don't be your whole life.
Okay, damn. I feel bad now. I just now realized something. Okay, I just now realized something about that gentleman. Okay. I feel bad. Okay.
Now, given what's transpired, one might think that Mr. Monticelli would take the L and never speak of this embarrassing performance again. But that's not what insane people do. Instead, he took to Twitter to declare victory and attempt to dox our car. Looks like someone might be getting a little obsessed.
Why are you so obsessed with me?
This is the kind of delusional behavior which can only be exhibited by people who've evaded accountability or being beholden to any form of truth throughout their entire lives. That's long form for professional journalist.
So, I mean, he pulled out some statistics.
But what kind of behavior would you expect from someone who was fired for reporting fake news and is currently facing a defamation lawsuit? Now, granted, Mr. Monticelli is innocent until proven guilty, but...
Man, damn. Would, for all those who are remaining watching this video, I just wanted to say I feel a little bad for clowning him now, because I just now saw something in him that I got a question. I wonder if he's different mentally, if he's autistic. But I think he's autistic, and if he is, that would change the game a little bit, in my opinion. At any rate, yeah. Y'all let me know what y'all thought about this in the comments below, and if you have yet to hit that subscribe button, please make sure you do so on your way out the door. Once again, guys, I am Van, and now we are all the LFR family, and I look forward to seeing you on the next video, and hopefully inside the Patreon as well. You guys have been amazing, man. And thank you to everyone who gave me my very first super thanks. I appreciate that. That means a lot. See y'all next time. And shout out to all of my Patreon members. Love y'all.